Hello everyone, my name is Scalti, and welcome back to our Satisfactory Let's Play. Last we left off, we realized that we need to expand our power infrastructure in order to accommodate the heavy modular frame factory when it comes online. So we went ahead and expanded our coal generator system, and in addition to adding in more coal generators, we also needed to add in additional water extractors. And in order to kind of bring everything onto one singular key pipe segment, if you will, all we had to do is delete these two pipes here and connect everything together, and that essentially gives us a full complete system utilizing the key pipe / water tower functionality. On top of all of that, I went ahead and identified a sulfur node, crafted up some portable miners in order to tap into that with the future expectation of utilizing turbo fuel. So in order to progress through that in the MAM tree, we need to go ahead and gather up some sulfur. While I was out gathering up the sulfur, I realized that there was a crash site nearby. Went ahead and grabbed up all the drops on the ground, useful for sinking some points, perhaps, or at least having on hand for other drop pods to unlock. But in order to unlock turbo fuel, we need to collect hard drives, and then just working through the MAM tree to unlock everything that we need in order to access the turbo fuel, and just researching what we can utilizing the sulfur that we had on hand. But as mentioned, turbo fuel is going to be on the horizon, if you will, in order to utilize. It's a very valuable source of power. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to get into the late game with it, or if we will eventually have to go into nuclear power, but that's going to be a problem for future us. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and focus on what's next for our heavy modular frame factory. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy. All right, so outside of what we did to we unlocked sulfur in the MAM tree, working our way toward turbo fuel. We need one additional hard drive to get that unlocked, which is pretty exciting. It was something I did small on the end. One other additional thing I did off camera, and I would actually, let's see if I can pull it up to here. I doubt it, but I don't know if I can reach something. Oh, that's maxed out. I went ahead and expanded our power. I don't know if I'm gonna get there now. All right, I'm just gonna go down here. Expanded our power. We are now at 4,800. I went over to our power station in that general area. That marker is denoting sulfur. Yeah, I went over to our original power station, overclocked one of the pure coal nodes to 480 per minute, added in our Mark IV belting, added in an additional 16 coal generators, along with 6 more water extractors to accommodate all of that, and got that up and running, so that way we have the room we need to get the heavy modular frame factory up and running, which is going to be a little over 1,000 megawatts. So last we also left off, we got our floor laid out, but we don't have any of the logistics complete. And the way I want to do this is try and make it as simple as possible. And if we actually look at the floor below, we'll do it from, yeah, we'll just go down. So over here, to reorientate ourselves, we have our 933.33 repeated screws being manufactured. We need to split into 2 lines of 300. So we need 600 dedicated to our heavy modular frames. We have the to-do list over on the right where you can see this information. So we're going to do 2 lines of 300. And then we're also going to have one singular line of 333.33 repeated screws going in for our reinforced iron plates. Coincidentally enough, or conveniently enough, next to the screws being produced is our iron plates. We need 180 plates, or I'm sorry, 120 plates, right? 20 out per minute times 6. 120 plates going up for our reinforced iron plates. So the 2 assemblers at the end of our top floor here will be used for those reinforced iron plates. And then next over from that would be our modular frames being produced. And for the frames, we are using, let's see, modular maybe would be the better choice here. We're using the alternate recipe that's going to be using steel pipe. So we're going to need to take some of the steel pipe from over here and bring it down. And then next, we'll likely end up doing the encased industrial pipes. So we're going to need all 150 concrete coming up to the floor here, plus the steel pipes over here being made to create those. And then we're going to need 90 of the steel pipes dedicated to the heavy modular frames. And that will likely be these constructors down here. So the notion is we'll do the 90 steel pipes from over here. I guess we can probably go down and actually start working on this. So each constructor, as we can see up at the top here, I have broken down how many items are coming out of each constructor down the chain. So if it's 20 pipes per constructor for the steel pipes, and we need 90 total, then we're going to need 4.5 constructors providing the pipe work that we're going to need to go up. This is our output. So this is going to be for the pipes going up to our heavy modular frame, our manufacturers directly. And so we can do, we'll do a Mark II. Actually, we'll put the merger, conveniently enough, we can put it right in line with how we're going to be splitting the constructors. So, well, actually, I take that back. It's a little off, but it'll still work. We need 1, 2, so this is 40 total. Then we're going to take this and split it in half to give us, ooh, okay. So we need to pull 40 for 20, 20. We need to pull 5. Because that gives us 45 on one, 45 on the other, and that'll come to the middle and get us sorted out. So if we take 20, it gets a little funky wonky. I can't believe I just said that. Anyway, it gets a little weird. The other option to kind of make this actually simpler, which I think we should just lean into rather. So I guess real quick, we have 210 pipes. I'm sorry, 90 pipes going to our heavy modular frames. So those will go up straight here. And then we have the encased industrial pipes, which will be right next to it. So this is the concrete and the pipes coming together. So those will be the assemblers that are in this general area. So it would make sense to do the 90 and the 210 together. So what we can do actually is we can merge these together. Merge them over here on the outside. Actually, we don't need one here. I believe that's too far over. So we'll merge into this like so. So that gives us our 40. And then we'll split here. And we'll merge in the middle and come into the center. And this will give us a line of 50. And then we just take these and merge them together this direction. A little too fast here. Should probably try and slow down. It's not a race. So this will come together, and then we'll upgrade this to a Mark II, and we'll get our 90 pipes. So we got 20, 20, and then 10 from here because it's going to split left and right. We'll have 50 coming to the center, and then we have the 40 coming from over here. And so that leaves the 210 that we need remaining. So that's going to be 10.5 constructors. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from over here. And so we will, let's see, where's our input going to be going up? It'll be here. So we can do it like this, coming together in the center here. This will be needing to be a Mark III. All right, we'll just do Mark IV since we have the excess on us. So we'll bring these over in the right direction. Do that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't need this one. So that's 40 here, 60. Upgrade. But to be fair, we could probably just use Mark IVs throughout. We have plenty. So that'll all come together, giving us 20. Let's give us 100. It's 5. And then we need another 110. So we're going to get 10 from here. 30, 50, 70, 90, 110. And so we can actually bring a merger here. This will connect up directly. And then this can come straight down and in. And all these will get mergers. Oh, yeah, it's a little too far. I found selecting belts has been a little challenging. Not sure if that is intentional or not, but just something I've noticed. Mark IVs. Why not? If we had to like manually craft cased industrial beams and whatnot, I'd say let's be conservative, but because it is automated and we have a stockpile, I think Mark IV is just for simplicity's sake. Works fine here. So let's get a little organized, and we can. I don't have any quartz. Let's see, north side. Yes, it's over here. Should have some quartz in this container. I do not. All right. Yeah, I do want to stay organized. I do have a decent amount moving around, and why not get into the habit of doing so now before our builds really start to get even more complicated in the future. Actually, I don't think I need 2 stacks, but I do have the room for it, I suppose. Yeah, I'm curious to see how we're going to do computers. I haven't looked at it too much. Yeah, I know we need to get the, I guess it's not high-speed connectors, but just like circuit boards. There's a component in there that I haven't really messed with, just because there's not much that requires it construction-wise. At least with what I regularly have utilized and am familiar with. So what am I doing here? Oh, that's the iron plates. Yeah, the really simple stuff. Okay. So this is, let's see, actually I'm gonna change the layout here. We'll do this 90 steel pipes. Do black text, white background. Keep the emission at a 2, I think works. Actually a 1. Go ahead and copy that setting. . 210 steel pipes. And then that takes 1, 2, 3, 4, wait. 1, 2. Should have one left. Yeah, okay. So we have 3 constructors over here, 2 constructors over here untouched. And these will all join in the middle here, giving us our 100 steel pipes. I think for alignment's sake, I'm gonna do it there, even though these could technically come together to a merger here. Because we get alignment down the row here, I think is my personal preference on how to do it up. And because we're doing the same thing over here as well. So this gives us our $100. And that's our steel pipes. Next we have the concrete. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we can have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 come together down here. We'll get all these merged up and connected in. Oop. All right, so this is our $150 concrete. Then we can label. It's a little clunky, I suppose, but still read it from the side here. This is our 120 iron plates. And now for the fun part, our screws. So the way I think I mentioned we were going to do this. So the 600 for the heavy modular frames. We're going to pre-split all of that into 2 lines of 300. So it's going to be the second and third. And then this will be our line of 333. And that's because it's going to get split across the 2 assemblers that are right up there. So the, I think, easiest solution is to solve for the 300 first. And the way I say that we can probably do that is not too dissimilar from how we did the iron ingots down on the first floor. So if we take, I think it's going to be 7, but 49.91 times 7 equals 340 9.37. So if we subtract 49.91, that leaves us just shy of the 300 we need, truthfully. In theory, we could probably overclock, underclock. I'd rather not. I think doing it this way is going to be fine. So essentially, we're going to need 4 outputs on each side for our screws. What am I doing here? What got going on here? This is not... Did I really merge this whole entire output onto one belt thinking that was good? I don't even remember. Wait, what's this going on here? Oh, I think, did I already do this? Right output is screws. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have no recollection of doing any of this work. So now I need to figure out what do we got going on here. All right, we got 1, 2, 3. Plus stuff. We got a... Okay, so the left is overflow. Then we have this thing going on here. What? I didn't label what I had going on here, and that's why it's beneficial to label so you can kind of understand what the heck it is you were doing in the first place. So I'm inclined to think what I was attempting to do, because I think this is a left is overflow, right is screws, and then I was going to bring this onto a Mark 1 belt because I did the same thing here. Left is overflow, right is screws. So the overflow and the priority from this would give us 60. And then I would split that into... Okay, I know what we're doing here. This is a Mark 3 belt. That's a Mark 3 belt. Okay, now it's coming back to me. So we have a Mark 3 belt to get 270. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus stuff. So 5 times 49.91 is 249.55. So we actually have 6 because this is a right priority. So I would take that back. 49.91 times 6 is 299.46. This is going to ensure, I think I spoke to this now. So this is going to ensure that we get the 270 full on that belt over there. The leftover comes into this merger here. This is a priority output as well. So if we do this, minus 270 is 29.46, plus the 49.91 coming out of here onto a Mark 1. And then we split it like so. Oh, that's an input. Oh, I have the outputs on the other side. We already have it going. Okay. Excuse me, the 30 comes down to here. It merges in with the 270. This gives us a line of 300. So we'll put this here. I completely forgot I already did all this. Got a lot going on, to be fair. Recording multiple episodes at once is also tricky because you're going back and editing things for what you've already done, and it can create some confusion for sure. So we have our Mark 3 belt, our Mark 1 belt. All right, bring this out. How did we do that? We bring it up to here. Bring this all the way down. connect that up. So we got 2 lines of 300 coming up. And then this is going to be... Oh, I did this backward, huh? This should be... That's fine. We'll just weave it and it'll look cool. Or actually, no, we already have an output over here. This is our output of screws. So, oh, that's our output of the entire factory. No, it's not. Did I get some of this stuff backwards? I did. So, I think what I intended to do, because the leftover, this line of 333.33 repeated, I think we should split and do in the middle here. I think that's what I said we would do. And then this becomes the 2 lines of 300, and this goes up and wraps all the way around the edge. And then this is just extra. No, this is actual factory. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is final output. I'm pretty sure. Oh. Yeah, this is final output. So we'll undo this. And then we'll split this up. So we'll do 1 line here. And then we'll bring this line over to here. And make sure these are all marked for lifts. Alright, that's a mark 1. There we go. Okay. We are all set. Let's go ahead and get this up to the next floor. Alright, so we have our... Let's go to the floor below. Ooh, this is the top floor. Okay. So we have our 90 pipes for our heavy modular frames coming up here. We have this tight mess right here. So I'm wondering, the second input coming up should be, based on how we're ordering things, I believe, are heavy modular frames. Or no, I'm sorry. The 90, we have 90 pipes coming up for our heavy modular frames. The remaining 210 are coming up for our encased industrial pipes, which is this here. So I think what we need to do is we need to flop the inputs and outputs here. So the 2 in the middle on this floor need to be the 2 in the middle here, and then these go on the outside. Or is that belt gonna... Well, we can extract this belt outward. Or is there a cleaner solution to doing that? So I don't want to stack like this. Could we do an up and over? We wouldn't be able to do an up and over because, yeah, I know you guys that up and over does not translate at all as to what. It's not very informative. So we could just pull this back and do a splitter here, for example, and then run the belts outward and then do this. Like run this up and over this belt that way. Although we'd have the merger there, so maybe we have to change the rotation of it to accommodate. Even then, it would still feel kind of tight, just kind of doing it like that. I know we have other similar places where it's that compact as well. I wonder if there is a way. Because the other option too is we can always maybe pull it back a little bit more, like here. See, we don't even need to go up that high though. But to kind of do something like that, as long as the stuff that's on here is flat, you know, technically it could work, quote unquote. I don't think that's appropriate though. So I think what we do instead is, yeah, we flop this. So we'll do splitter here. I'll retract all of this. Well, so the splitter doesn't go there. The splitter will go here. Go in like this, and so that means the second one here. Do it like that. Splitter on the opposite side over here. Go in. So that's on middle left. Flips around. I will do, yeah, inside to outside, I suppose. Or outside to inside. Oh. So if we do it like this, second floor here. Where are we going? There we go. So this becomes that. This then comes down over here. That's left. And then we have, oh, I think I deleted what I needed to utilize, which is this here. Which means I think I now need to reconnect. Yeah, I deleted the whole belt. So this will just simply come up here, go this way, and just to refresh. Okay, so that's output. So this 90 is going to the heavy modular frames. So conveniently enough, just do it like this. So the 90 comes up, that gets split, steel pipes for heavy modular frames, complete. Now here's the tricky bits. We're gonna need inputs coming down here for one additional item. I think that should be probably the next closest. So nothing else coming up goes into the heavy modular frames. Everything else that's going to be going into it is being manufactured on this floor by the assemblers. So that's the cased industrial pipes, the modular frames, and something else. It's not the concrete. Oh, the screws. So the screws are going to be coming from the outside all the way over. So let's maybe go work on those. So that is not these two. It should be, or no, it is these two. So these two at the very end are what we're using. Right? 270, blah, blah, blah. All right, so yeah. Just enough. So we'll run one Mark IV this way, another that way. So we just have outputs. Oh, we should probably consider the inputs here as well. So we'll run these as far to the edge as possible. So we'll go off in this direction with it. And just run these all the way down. Because we are going to need to load balance these two lines onto the three separate ones, like how we did the little offshoot and kind of crafted that up. Turns out it was actually fairly simple to accomplish. I think that's good for right now. Oh. Yeah, targeting belts has been inconsistent. Put it that way. Oh, I did do it on the seam here. Whoa. Okay. So actually one side isn't going to... Well, that's the pipes no matter what, so that should come up here, I suppose. Or... yeah, we'll just do it like that. But we're not going to need, and I don't want to deal with this floor probably because these pipes are going to go off in that direction a decent ways. So we'll scrap this. And then we're going to do a merger for each one of these. And it's 100 per. Okay. So then this will split. I think the easiest way to do it is like this. We can just put the splitter right here. like this, and then it's here, here. Yeah, just do it like that. I was like, why does this feel so much further over? And it's just because it's offset. Okay. Screws complete. Now we need to figure out the logistics for everything else. Which leaves the cased industrial beams and the modular frames. So down here we have these making our bolted frame. Screws, 250 per minute. Underclocked, because it's like 1.5 constructors or something like that technically. So we don't need the full suite. Bolted. So this is pretty simple. Our input coming up, screws at least, is right here. So we can take stock of kind of how many assemblers we have over here as well, and the outputs of everything. So next to that, we're doing the frames. So that's the steeled frame, and that's, let me double check how many assemblers that is. Okay, so it's 10, so it's going to be 5 on each side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think what we can do is to keep things as simple-ish as possible. Let's do this for reference, just so we can kind of understand what's where on the floor below here. Because we also have the, so after this, or no, this is already split. That's right, we pre-split this. So it's going to be one going off in one direction, one going off in the other as well. And that's these two. This should be our iron plates. And we can do the same thing here, relatively speaking. So this is on the inside of the track, which is great. How close is it here? Okay, so it's not that bad. We'll do... yeah. We'll do the left. Well, we'll do it symmetrically. This will be for our screws. Do I want to bring that out? Yeah, I'll bring it out a little bit. I think I might do the same thing on the other side too. Because we'll have the room for it, or should have the room for it. Oh, that's not even. Oh, that's like way off. What am I doing here? Well, that might not be so bad then, but... I think that's fine. So we got that coming up, that coming up. Just want to double check, make sure that's right. Yep. Okay. So these are the iron plates. We'll have these split right away. Actually, we'll bring them down a little bit. Oh, geez. I want north side. I guess to be fair, when you got a lot of Mark IV belting, it's going to use up a good bit of material. Oh. Yeah, I guess the only downside is having to come all the way down here for supply. Those are Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3 we're not using. Might as well just use the Mark 4s, right? What I thought was interesting is the comparison of different fuel types doing different things. So longer sustained flight with the biofuel, packaged biofuel, but less vertical boost. Regular fuel is a combination. And then turbo fuel burns faster, but you get a higher maximum vertical lift. And I think there's a fourth fuel type. Maybe it's like diluted. Well, no, because packaged diluted fuel is still, I think, just fuel. I thought there was a fourth fuel type. It's not just like oil or coal. I don't think coal could be a functional fuel for this. I could be wrong. Anyway, getting a little off topic. So, yeah, we're splitting this up. Bring this down. We'll kind of tuck it somewhat close in case we need some wiggle room for logistics down here. I doubt it. Well, I guess we might due to the inputs into the other assemblers. So to try and be conscientious of that space, I think this makes the most sense. I'm actually going to default 1, 2. Instead of having to mash E all the time, we're definitely using Mark IV more than anything else. So. Is that off? Yeah, that's off. Oh, it's off down there. Okay. Right, because we're in the middle of the foundation. We're on the seam for that one, but... Okay. Wait a second. I'm confused. Or maybe I was trying to get too close and it is in fact supposed to be over here. Oh, because this one's crooked. They're all crooked. Okay. Well, that explains a lot. Maybe I just turn this one around. Like that. There we go. Okay. So those are going into our assemblers for our reinforced iron plates. And then we need, for the modular frames, we need steel pipe output and output from the modular, for the reinforced iron plates. So if we come all the way back down to here, this should be our concrete. So let's just make a quick note of that. Nothing special. Which makes these here are specifically for our encased industrial pipes, the 210, which makes this the 90 pipes for our encased, our steel frames. So let's kind of see what we got going on above real quick, and how we kind of need to work maybe the outputs and the inputs here and find some balance. So we have for the, well, yeah, okay. Let's kind of work our way down a little bit then. So we have the reinforced iron plates coming out of here for our steel frame. So we can do a 1-to-5 split from the output here for each independent side. So I think if we took the output of the modular frames and brought those into the center, and then we can kind of reroute that as needed, we can pretty easily fit a 1-to-5 system up here. We're also going to need to bring the pipes over. And that's going to be coming up from the bottom. So because the output is on this floor, rather than going down below, and actually we can't do all this belting without reworking it. So I think what we do here is we do the compact 1-to-5 split. So we got 1, 2, 3. This is our middle. We'll do, let's see, is it here? Over one. So we do the, we'll do the 3 here. And then this will have a split. Then we have 2 more. Split here will go sideways. So we then need to split between these as well. This is on the right, that's on the right, that's on the right. Okay. So we need, sorry, my brain is a little, trying to keep track of everything we have going on down there, and I just need to focus on this. So we need a splitter going into each of these, and then in front of that, a merger. So to keep this compact, I think the best way to do that would be to do splitter here, and a merger here. This merge line will receive from here. it's too long. That's fine. Nope. Really? Sheesh. Okay, so a line comes in, this goes into the initial splitter here, that's the output. This then splits once, that's straight, right? That is not straight. Okay, so I messed up the placement of this and this. So the split is here, the merge output is here. Can that just go straight in? No, because this needs to move over one. So that's now a little off, which is fine. Okay, this should be good. So this goes into the splitter, this splits off into this side, that gives us our 3 outputs. This splits then into here. This gives us our 2 outputs, and then our third goes back into the merger. And now we are load balanced. Then I'll repeat the same thing on the opposite side. So let's see, 1, wait, 1, 2, 3. So we'll mirror it. I think that'll work out best. So this is left. Right, okay. That splits once, this splits in here, find this, and this splits down to here. So that's 1, 2 outputs, we got the input here. This will run all the way down. That. Okay. Make sure I got these connected. I did. Okay, cool. Got that resolved. I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to pause and kind of consider this. And then get into it. So this is, I think, going to get a little tricky because we got the concrete coming up. We got the output from the modular frames, concrete, steel pipes into the encased industrial beams. Plus, we also need to deal with the steel pipe output from down below here. Concrete, this makes it the iron plates. So like getting all of this figured out. So I'm just going to kind of take a second, pause, catch my breath, and then we'll move forward. All right, in the process of trying to figure some stuff out, I just ended up figuring some stuff out. Quickly give a little bit of an update. So, go back here. Getting a little hectic down here, not too bad. So the first one here is our screws that are going all the way down to our manufacturing, as well as the second one here. So these go to to the short edge, and then they wrap all the way around, going into our manufacturers, and then here we have our other screws. This one goes all the way down into that assembler, and then oh, I ran past it. This one goes down into the other one. Those two assemblers are making our reinforced iron plates. So to make those as well, follow this belt from here. This is our iron plates coming up, so we split that into two separate lines of 60. And then those go all the way down. And then the output for these, because we need the reinforced iron plates to make the steel frames, those just output into a 5-way splitter, which we redid. I ended up not using this assembler or this assembler, and I realized that once I started to do the assembler balancing down there for the steel frames, the 4 on each side, and I was like, why is there only 3? I realized I had missed this one. So I redid the belting, and I kind of tightened this up just a little bit more in terms of the overall space it's taking up, which I really like. I think it came out great. And then here, getting a little finicky as well. So the iron plates are here, and then we have the steel pipes coming up here. These 100 steel pipes feed into the balancers as well to make the steel frames. And then before that, though, we have our concrete coming up, and we need to get the concrete over to oh, here we are. We have these for one. I actually do this for some orientation. So these last 4 on each side here are for our steel frames. The next 5 down are for the modular, or I'm sorry, those are the steel frames. These are for the encased industrial pipes. So we need the concrete for those pipes, but because we have these pipes going down for our steel frames in the 2nd through 6th, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2nd through 6th assembler on each side. The concrete, we could technically use a conveyor pull, or the actual just pull and lift it like this, but that gets a little meh. So we brought the concrete up to the next floor, and we split this up into 8 even lines. Pretty simple and straightforward here. The reason why I have the concrete coming all the way down here and then around is for the output. So we have our steel frames coming out of these. Filter. There we go. And this one. So these 10 are our steel frames that are coming out. So what I'm going to do is, it would be easier technically to probably just merge them all on one line and then split them up, because we only have 30 total. So we'll probably merge them, run them off this side all the way down. So we have the output here for our encased industrial piping, encased industrial beams, technically. We'll bring all of that down and we'll merge that right here and straight shot into the splitter. And then our steel frames will come all the way down here, loop around, and into here. Because we already have our screws and our pipes figured out. So this is our pipes here. We've got the screws once more, just coming all the way down and over. So we won't need to deal with like this 2 to 3 system. Although I guess for symmetry, you know, it couldn't hurt, right? So maybe we do that for the encased industrial beams. I'm sorry, for the steel frames. We can do that. And then for these encased industrial beams, we can just do those straight out. Or if we really wanted to, we can do the 2 to 3. Maybe I'll do the 2 to 3 just because it kind of looks cooler, if you will. Looks a little bit more sophisticated, perhaps. So anyway, I'm going to get all of this belted up. And after that, we should be in pretty good shape. This is turning out to be, I would say this is a relatively simple build, and it's a relative term, right? The notion of what I think just makes it complex is the sheer volume of the build, how many parts you have to consider, and all of that, kind of goes into it. But at the end of the day, is it truly that complicated? I guess no, but that could also just be a little bit of what do you call it? I guess I can say there's a little bit of a bias mentality in that statement, just because anything's easy once you figure it out. And we figured out the math for the build. We know how many machines we need for the build. So therefore, it's an easy build, right? I guess it's just all a matter of perspective, I suppose. And I can totally understand the sheer volume of things can make this feel daunting. Just want to see how we did this up. Okay, so we did it from the here. And this has definitely been a fun build. I think what makes the build fun is having the tech to do it and to do it well. So one of the saving graces of this build, actually I'm going to use the other side for this. One of the saving graces for this build, for the imbalanced amount of machinery that we needed, is the smart splitters. Those make load balancing easy. I mean, granted, so do manifolds, right? But if you want to make something efficient, or at least something that can operate quickly, and you don't have to worry about the ramp up speed of overflowing things in a manifold style structure. I think that the smart splitters are definitely a savior to take out some of that trouble. We still got a little creative here and there with relying on the like a splitting a belt 3 ways onto 3 different lines of 60. Wait, will that not reach all the way down here? Let's see. Okay, so we have a little bit of room actually to bring this belt further. But still being able to, I don't know if this is gonna reach. Oh, look at that. Is that off though? That's straight. That's in the middle. Okay, that's straight. So yeah, just having the technology at our disposal to take a lot of the headache, challenge out of the build. And so I'd say there's still definitely some challenge present, but not nearly the amount that would normally be present in other types of builds. Like I remember one of the earlier builds that I've ever done was the rotor factory that I made a guide for. In hindsight, I made some errors for sure. But that was definitely a challenge when it came to balancing the ingots for the rod production. You know, and I remember someone had made the comment like, hey, why don't you do the load balancing for the rods after the rods? Like, well, I load balanced everything before making the rods, so I had to load balance again essentially. And it would have been a similar system in which to operate that anyway. So is that straight? Yes. Is that like that? No, it came all the way down. It came past one more. Then it goes straight. Now, I'm definitely excited to have the Mark IV belting at our disposal. You know, I was recently edited the episode 11, and in the process of doing that, it was kind of nice to have to still edit that video just to remind myself, like, oh yeah, this is what I was doing, this is what I said I was gonna do, things like that. And you know, the Mark IV belts, because the pure nodes run on 240, Mark II at 240. If you overclock, you know, it's 480, so we could take a lot of the custom builds that are out here, not custom, but these, you know, quick little builds and whatnot, and either condense them together or make them more permanent. So it's like we have this is rotors. I don't know, I can't see the item. Yeah, rotors. That's the modular frames, reinforced iron plates. Like, we could, well, the rotor factory can just go away. We have the rotors coming from this factory here, so that's actually a pure iron node that we could tap into. Oh, maybe we tap into that. Maybe we destroy this factory, pipe the iron over here. I mean, it's a little far, but I think that's a normal node. I don't remember. I know I looked at it before, but so yeah, we can like clean up a lot of this stuff. The other thing that I was thinking of in terms of next steps, and I'd rather do like get computers figured out and then get rail figured out before I get too distracted. Let's go refresh my, make sure we're actually doing stuff. I think once we get computers figured out, oh, did I do that wrong? That's a splitter. So yeah, once we get computers figured out, we can do rail. Once we have rail figured out, I think the next step would honestly probably be some type of centralized operations. Get rid of this ramshackle, you know, whatever we got going on right now. I think what I'd like to do is build along this cliffside here, because there's like a cave that goes up here, I think, and then spits you out, I think right here, something like that. There's like a ramp you can go up, or I built a belt, or I built a ramp up, but I thought that'd be kind of cool. And then utilizing the cliffside here as our storage area, or just build out from the waterfall. But I thought the waterfall would be kind of cool, you know, like a little back cave with the explorer or something like that. I don't know, I'll consider it. That's just mainly because that's what I've tried to do before. It didn't really stick, but I think that could be a really interesting option. But I think centralizing our operations and making the train network worth it. Oops, I should probably put these in first. I think once that's done, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I think turbo fuel for power would be a necessity. I would like to avoid nuclear power for as long as I can. It just feels like a beast that I not quite ready to contend with. Who knows? That might change. But yeah, we'll see. Also, I rebuilt some assemblers. There was one assembler I rebuilt. I don't know which one it is that I need to run power to. I think it was this one of these over here. This one. One additional thing I may have done for those who pay close attention to what it is I am doing. I did all the inputs for our assemblers are Mark IVs. It's more specifically for the ones down there that are taking in large quantity of screws, as well as the manufacturers, since one of them will be taking in 100 screws, so the Mark I belting would not work. So, anyway, while I was talking, I believe that's everything belted up, except maybe our output, which we haven't really figured out yet. So let's see what we got going on here. So, given its proximity to our current starting location, I think trying to figure out some internal storage and how to get it routed to the train station would make sense. Alright, so this is all connected up. So we left off with it here. Excuse me. So we need to figure out train. I think the input for it is over here. But we do have some room down here, so I could probably build out this floor, like smooth this all out. And then get everything kind of pathed as needed for some local storage. You know, so like for example, the train station's here. And I'm honestly, I don't know, because like I don't know how to do how I want to do the rail system and how it connects. You know, like the one thing that we do have is, oh, that's it. Let's go into a regular intersection, T road ramp. No light, glass roof. Okay, so this thing. We could do something that's like one in like a length of one in running the rails to it. I think a fully enclosed would be kind of cool. Maybe, you know, for now we scrap the train station in its entirety, or maybe we just kind of leave it, box it in, put some storage that's accessible on the ground floor for it. I don't think we need to worry about tractoring it or training it anywhere. So let's do a walkthrough from the base of what we kind of have going on. So we still need to resolve the inputs ultimately. But I think the meat and potatoes of the build, if you will, is complete, which is really exciting to say. So we're going to have 2 lines of iron coming up. Right? Because this is our... Yeah. So we have our smelters down here, so this is going to be on the sides. The 2 lines of iron. Splitting up into lines of 7, and then splitting each of those. This is our limestone that's going up. Then we're going to have our coal here in the middle. Come all the way down. So the coal meets 1 to 10 split on this floor. Then the iron outputs all come onto one line. And then this gets split into 10 as well. Make sure this is all connected. Actually, I'll do the connection, like make it like thoroughly making sure connections and whatnot work afterward. But so we have all of that. This is our output. Now we have our steel beams going up here. Oh, sorry, our steel ingots. We have some iron plates going up here. Then we have, iron ingots going up there for our iron plates, and then we have our iron ingots coming up here for our screws. This comes here, all the way down. I think it's, oh, that's the iron plates. Wait, is that correct? Because we have, this is our iron plates here. What is this? Out of concrete. Oh, that is our concrete. That's right. Sorry, I meant to be looking at this one then. So these are our iron plates. Sorry, iron ingots coming up. These are being manufactured into, I believe, what should be screws. 10 on each side. Yep, okay. So I got a little backward there. And then the output for those screws goes up here and here. That's the 133 split. This should be our 300 slash, well, 2 belts of 150. Over here, these are our iron plates coming out and going up. This is the output for our concrete going up. We have our 100 steel pipes, 90 steel pipes, or sorry, 210, and then we have 90. The 90 pipes. Let's just make sure these are all sorted out. So this all comes in on this side here. Okay, so we need the input for this resolved. Oh wait, no, it is resolved. It's coming up here. On each side. So that's good. And then we have, yeah, this is the concrete. Limestone coming up for the concrete. And that's all connected up. Everything's split with a gap of 2 in between. And I admit it does look pretty good because there's a nice, because it is consistent, we got that nice patterning going on, which is great. Then that's our output. Our 90 steel pipes coming up, splitting 3 ways. 210 pipes coming up, splitting once. Gotta split this over the other side. So this goes down just... Okay, so this goes down to meet up with 4. So it's 1, 2, 4. Okay. So that's the 210. Yep. We got the 100 for our steel frames. And a 1:5 split. Same thing over the other side. We have our screws going up and around. This is the output of the steel frames coming all the way down, and then to the outside are encased industrial beams input. Or sorry, this is the output of the limestone going out, or sorry, the concrete going out to balance out, and the inputs, so the outputs for this all come together into 3 splits. Make sure I got the other side here connected. Yep. Okay. Then our output here. Yeah. That's the build. Ooh, we gotta power these. So let's see, where's the power connection? Here. So if we do middle, it should keep things pretty tidy, right? Maybe bring it back. Oh, if we do the diagonal right here, oh, you would see it though. So if we did, yeah, if we brought it back here, can't even really see it. Okay. So that's the back middle. Oh, this one's off alignment. I'm not sure about this one then. Call it here. That's back one. And this is in the middle. Okay. Yeah, we'll just bring the middle one through. Okay. So yeah, I'll go through, I'm gonna get all the power to these connected, double check all the recipes, double check all the belting, and then get some temporary storage in place. I think it'll work, just to make sure everything's working. Let's do a basic storage right now. Wow, I couldn't have positioned that better if I planned it. Well, I probably could have, but for not planning it, that was pretty good. Okay, so that's the output. Yeah, I'm gonna get these all wired up and then make sure that we are copacetic. I'm curious how I'm gonna do floor to floor power. I wonder if there's a way to hide it in here. Maybe we can kind of experiment with this real quick. So if I bring it here, and then if I, so it's on the angle there. I position one here. I think that hides it pretty well. Oh, and it goes up through the dot, so it almost looks intentional. Or is there another? Oh, there's another floor. Just connects right here. I mean, I suppose if we wanted to get a little more realistic, I could always put a thing here. Actually, I could probably put it on the side, right? I could. And then it would clearly clip. So I think we'll just kind of conceal it. I think that works. Let's actually see if this is actually all connected. Max consumption 248. All right, I will get this all powered up, and I'll see you here in a moment. Okay, so the iron ore here is impure, so we won't be tapping into that. We do have the one that is feeding our steel production, which we can alter, move, modify. We have our... Ooh. This is a pure node, right? Yeah, because there's a mark 1. Yeah. So, we can get rid of this. We don't need this unit anymore. It's a little far away, to be fair. But similar to what we've done for our encased industrial beams. We can run a system like this. I think it's pretty tasteful and works, especially across long distances. So I don't see why we couldn't do that here. Just run something straight south and then over. The one interesting thing, and I think it'll be fine, is the iron that's coming in is 813.33 repeated. We would, based on how I load balanced everything, we would need 2 separate lines of 406.665 or 66 repeated. So when we go to overclock the nodes or the miners, probably set it to that, see if it works. Maybe like 406.67 round up. I don't know if it can go to the 3rd decimal point. Yeah, it can go to the 2nd, so we'll probably do 6.7 as the solution, just to make sure it works. You know, I guess supposedly eventually it will back up. I don't think it'll be too bad, or at least maybe if I specify to the 3rd decimal, it will apply the 3rd decimal point, but it just doesn't show it due to the UI designed the way it is. So I am tempted to just kind of go grab that line and bring it over here. I think what would be a nice little closeout for this episode is to actually get it up and running. You know, not considered final by any stretch of the imagination, don't get me wrong. Just, you know, I figure it's the next process to make sure everything's working correctly before we put all the bells and whistles on it, you know. So I think actually I will do that. I'll go get everything belted up and connected, pull the coal from here, and we'll figure out something. We have a pure coal node down here. We have a second one that we could possibly tap into for just basic steel production. If we wanted, kind of do something similar here. Maybe tractor in some iron ingots or something. I'm not sure yet. You know, maybe that's where trains come into play. Who knows? So, yeah, we go ahead and everything was powered up. I figured that was a given, but we got all yellow bars across the board, which is really cool to see as well. The power being minimalistically hidden. Is it clipping? Sure. Do I like it? Absolutely. So I think we're going to leave the power how it is in this design. And yeah. Alright, time to get some temporary spaghetti going. Hello, Editor Scalti here. Just wanted to speak to the fact that I will not be incorporating the powering on and troubleshooting of the factory. We're already an hour and a half in, and that's after cutting some content, which puts us into feature-length film territory, if you will, so to try and tack on an additional hour plus of troubleshooting the factory, because there was definitely some stuff wrong with it. I've opted to make that its own standalone episode. It'll be optional. It's literally just going to be dedicated to troubleshooting the factory. I know some would appreciate that insight and kind of looking into what is involved in that process. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, feel free to leave a like. It does help out the channel. If you want to see more content in the future, be sure to subscribe if you're not already. And if you have any questions about the Let's Play, what's in store for it, how I'm feeling with it, etc., or just want to chit chat, leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. With that, thank you so much for watching. Take care.